Welcome gamers to Mark 50 or MK50 TWL Vehicle Battler Custom Slider. What does that all mean? I don't know. This is one of the most unusual games that I've come across in many months, basically. Really interesting game. It's a game that has got one of the worst user interfaces that I've actually sort of come across, to be honest. It looks really janky, the way it sort of plays. There's things that don't quite work. I can't stop playing it. I just absolutely love it. It's just such a great. The premise behind this game is so cool, and it's just got all of these little rough. It's a diamond in the rough, really, is what it actually is. And it's sort of funny because when we have a look at this one through here, like you've got the community hub. If I go back across into here, look at the actual discussions. Only 4 threads. Go back out to the store page again. What have we got? We've got no reviews at all. So it's sort of no one's really looked at the game, and it's only like $5 US. So it costs nothing, but it's got so much in it. It's just an astonishingly good game. So it's got the potential. So as I say, I just can't stop playing the game. I'm in love with it, even though it's really looks extremely ugly. But it's just, I don't know, there's something about it that really has gripped me. I didn't want to say, hey, look, it's a great game and it's really polished. It's very rough. Very early days. It's early access. It came out 2 months ago at time of recording, 28th of December. And I'm guessing the TWL is for Timberwood Lumber Games. So TWL, that must be what that is. MK50, is that Mark 50? Is this their 50th iteration of this game? I don't know. Who knows? Vehicle Battler Custom Slider. There are vehicles that battle. Custom Slider, no idea what that's referring to. The name doesn't make any sense at all. And even, look, I've got to say that I normally pass on a lot of the games that sort of come across my desk, and I was set to pass on this one, but the email was just so unusual. Like, it was actually an email that it was just all like bullet points. Like, the whole email was just a series of bullet points, and I thought, wow, I've never seen an email like that before. So I thought I'm going to have to have a look, and when I saw the game, it reminds me of From the Depths, if you've ever seen that game, which is another. That's From the Depths, I think, is more complex in what you end up doing, but it's got that feel about it with the way it sort of does work. There's a lot to like about this game. Anyway, let me get into it. But as I said before, it really, there's a lot of ugliness as well. So you're going to have to get your head past that particular aspect. Battles are real time, as you can sort of see in this cut scene through here, but they're not overwhelming, to be honest. And so and you can sort of set things up so that it becomes like almost pausable. But even that has user interface problems. Nearly everything has user interface problems, just so that you're completely aware. Let's just get into the actual game itself. In through here. So this is the beauty that is MK50 TWL Vehicle Battler Custom Slider, I think is the name. It's just such a mouthful. It's just so unusual. The tutorial is worth doing. By all means, sort of start there. This is a random map, and so the very first time I did it, I couldn't figure out why the most important vessel that I had in the game was destroyed before I really even got unpaused and doing things. It's just happened to end up spawning right on top of a enemy location. And so it's things like that where there's a lot of. It's very rough around the edges, but then the second time I played it, it was there, and it's the tutorial. You can sort of rattle through it if you don't want to sort of do the doing. You can just read what it says. There's a lot of reading, probably too much, to be honest. Keybinds, we've only got a few keybinds. This beautiful user interface. No, it really does. It does need a lot of work. The game, just in terms of presenting it a lot better than what it actually is. It's very ugly. Options back into here as well. You've got different sort of settings. Now, the one of the bullet points in the email was to not have the music volume up, in case the music in there is possibly going to be sort of like claimed in YouTube. Like, it's sort of which is very often the case with indie games. But I really appreciate that they've actually highlighted that fact. So that was good. And so this is actually, that was good. I've got to say, like the actual game itself, it's very, very hard to get your head into it. So hopefully this video, if you do grab it, $5, it's a cup of coffee. If you $5 US or thereabouts. It's essentially, even in Australia, it's a large cappuccino is the cost of this particular game. And there's certainly, like as I said before, I just can't stop playing it. I'm absolutely in love with it. Now, I'm going to start with the battle, just so you can sort of see the way this works. Just be aware the battle system is hard. If I go into the actual battle itself. So this is actually setting things up. And this will then make more sense when we get into the campaign. So I'll start here, play a battle, and then we'll get into the campaign. So the faction that we have now, if you have designed your own ships and your own units, they will then appear here. I, of course, don't have any at this stage. So I'm just going to go across. Now, we've got a whole lot of different factions in the game. So we've got unaligned, which is sort of like just generic type stuff, which is what we're seeing back over here as well. And so this one here, it just randomly has chosen different things for us in this particular instance. But I can go to any of these. Like the space pirates won't have anything there for me. The water pirates won't have anything there. She does have a pirate chaser, for the simple reason that we've actually land and sea. So we end up with a pirate, essentially a ship in through there. Near fort works. So again, we've got all these specific things like dozer tanks, spotter copters, etc., etc. And if I increase the tech level, I can then sort of get some fairly high level tech. I'll explain what these are when we get into the actual game itself, but that spotter copter there is tech level 4, essentially, is what it's telling me, is the way it sort of is working. So that's the highest tech that it's got on it, is a tech level 4. If I go and make it so that it's between tech level 4 and 5, it's then limited to just that one thing. So you do need a bit of a mix of different stuff. And even the tech level ones are cheap usually. And the higher tech levels then cost a lot more. So you can still defeat someone using what they've got. Let's just go back to unaligned at this point in time. And I'm going to change the map just to a land only. What I'll do is I'll go to desert and play just in the desert. This will be a randomly generated map. I'll keep the weather at random. The mission objectives, there's a whole lot of different things you can do through here. So I've got battle, protect installations, extract units, escort units, search area. These are the different types of missions you can then sort of go and get. But if we just do a battle, we have to then defeat 75% of the enemy forces. Enemy aggressiveness, we just slow attack. That's okay. We've got defensive attack, but let's just go slow attack. Now we do have things like experimental nukes if we wanted to allow those to go in. We've got supply base if we needed to resupply. You can run out of bullets in this game. You do need to sort of have, when you design the units, they need to be designed with bullets in mind. And if I hover over these, like if we go to the main battle tanks in through here, which is sort of like your standard weapon, these have got dimensions, hit points, fuel, ammo. You can see there 192M. I'm not sure what the M stands for. I'm pretty sure it's not million because they do run out. I'm not sure. Maybe thousands. Unsure is really how that one does work. But anyway, that's sort of what we end up having. And we can chop and change these as well to change the numbers with what we end up having. I'll leave all that where that is. We don't need C, of course, so I'll just get rid of them if we're playing in the desert. They won't bring it in anyway, to be honest, even if I put it in there. And I'm going to change the enemy down to 10,000. It really is that difficult to play the game, so you want to be making sure that you severely outnumber the enemy. I'm going to go and change this to tech level 3 as well and keep that at tech level 3. And so we'll see different groups. The UA Jet Universal A3, which we've got, we've only got one of those. Tech level 3 over through here. They've got one of them as well. We've got 2 Stingers. They've only got one. These are rotors. This will be important. We've got 2 main battle tanks. They've got 2 as well. 2 datas. So and the only thing we've got is we've got an auto gun emplacement there, which is chewing up a lot more of the space. So we've got an extra stinger there. So that's actually the only difference that we have. I could go in and add in more units. I can go and click on this one to then go in to look at the different categories. the different types of propulsion. Like if I go into ground mobile and then I go into unaligned, I'm then going to get the list of different things that I can then bring in. You can see some of these have got like higher tech than what we have that's allowed, but I can go and bring different units back in. I can't really scroll down through there anymore. And then there's all sorts of stuff like aliens through here with what they've got, the different sorts of craft, etc., etc. This is really quite exciting, actually, what does go on. Civilians, nothing much in through there, not with ground mobile. If I go and select all propulsions, I then get basically science platforms, supply bases, etc., etc. Coming back through there. What about the aliens? What do they end up? They've got a heap of stuff in there as well. So I can bring in hybrid units just to play with if I wanted to. So I can sort of set up anything that I like, but let's just keep it the way that we've got it. All right, let's start the mission. Now, when you do start a mission, there's a few different things. I'll just explain how this interface works, and we'll sort of go from there. You can design your own craft as well, like that's a big part of the game, or it can be a big part of the game if you want it to be, which is interesting. Now we've got all the units. Now I'm just going to go and press space. See this 26 seconds? If I've got actual buildings on the actual map itself, I'm then going to be able to, and actually we're playing at night time, which is not ideal actually for showing this. But if I had buildings which I don't have, then that would actually then highlight the actual building. So I'd end up with it would end up essentially with a like I'd be able to then move the buildings within a certain radius to reposition them if I really wanted to. But in this case, we don't actually have any. I don't think we do. Actually, we may do. Let's just press tab a couple of times. So we've got main battle tanks. Now I know I've got more than that. Now, what's this one here? If I just go and press, this one's an auto gun emplacement. See, this one I should be able to then maneuver, and I'm going to move it out to here, and it will then move within a certain range. But if I move it over to there, it can't move any further than where I moved it. And what's the UA? What's that one there? That's the Jet Universal there as well. So I've got it sort of just traveling at 0.02 times. You can see it's slowly ticking down, but if we do actually have these things done. If I press tab a couple of times, the next time we need to destroy 75% of the enemy force. There's 4 enemies remaining. There's objective 4 enemies remaining. Enemies got 6 units. We've got 8 units. Back over through here, we'll sort of see. Now, this is one of the big problems in the game is when it's down like this sort of level, it just doesn't actually. You can move quickly by moving to the edges of the screen, but if you're using WASD, it's extremely slow. So until you start to release this, so it's probably better to just do it this way. We've got a possible enemy start location there, and another one way back out there. So they're starting in these different locations. One problem we're going to have here is that the actual terrain itself is very, very difficult, and so this is going to be a big problem trying to get units to be able to get across the actual, across where everything actually is. So I can do all sorts of different stuff in through here as well. Like I've got the, I'll just keep it in this high level. If I press tab one more time, it all disappears. One time we get a little bit extra, then we get all of the actual names coming through, and then finally we get all the other information as well. So I just keep it on the highest level. One thing I will say is that the game it's a bit janky with being able to, like if I start to zoom in, some of the units may start to disappear. Look at that. So we're now missing some. Come back up, scroll around. Hopefully they'll come back. It's the user interface, user experience is extremely poor. So just be aware of that. But again, the actual game itself is super fun. So anyway, let's just go back. So we've still got 22 seconds now, like with the actual buildings. Now we've just got that one building that was positioned, which we're not going to be able to make use of. So we just need to actually meet with them and then destroy the enemy. So I'm going to go, there we go, they've now come back up. So these guys in through here are, and if I go and click on these guys, this is Stinger, TAC 406. If I press the V, I then it tells me what this thing actually is. So V is very, very important. Light helicopter gunship armed with dual electro-optical missiles and autocannon. So I've got a few of those, plus I've got the other aircraft there. I'm just going to go and select both of these Stingers, and make them into control group number 1. I'll make the jet control group number 2, and then I'm going to place all of the others, except for the autocannon, as control group number 3. Now, I've got 4 units selected, so 2 main battle tanks and 2 of these darters, which if I can press V again, the darter is a wheeled recon vehicle, so this is light wheeled recon, and so we're going to put them in as control group number 3. So I've now got better control. I can then also change as to whether they're tight, medium, or loose in terms of their formation. I'll keep them medium, but I'm going to put them in maybe as 2 lines. So I'm going to sort of position them how I want them to go, and I'm going to position them back out over here somewhere. Now the AI, it will just go in a straight line. Now if I go across cliffs, it's going to be extremely slow. So I'm just going to go along this part of the desert, and then we'll just move out into the other part of the desert back out through here. So I'm just going to go shift and then do a right click, shift, right click, and then shift, right click back down this way somewhere. So we'll move them out. Now these are the waypoints for that particular group. I'm going to keep these guys sitting back here for now, and then we'll sort of let them go. There's also things like the AI controlled, and this is like semi-automated behavior. They'll do their own thing. And so the helicopters will sort of then just keep on hovering and checking things out if you've got the AI control. If you turn that off, they'll come and land. Just be very, very careful that you're actually making sure that you're over something that is secure. Like you don't want to be landing on a cliff face because it will destroy the actual craft. So you have to be careful with that one through there. What I think I'll do is I think I'll leave all of these guys, as I said before, just floating back, and we'll just see what we can do there. And let's just go and unpause the game. So it's now going at 1x speed. These will try to sort of find their own level as to where they end up going. So this is actually a universal jet. If I give it orders, it will then it'll do something a bit different. But I don't want it to go too close to the enemy just yet. So it's certainly traveling at a big speed. If I press C, I'm now sort of zooming in on it. So here's our little jet, which has got all of its components, which have been sort of designated. It's moving up. And because of the AI, it will then sort of just do its own thing anyway. Let's just keep it there and just watch and see if the other jets come across. So possibly have a fight there, I would imagine. I'm just thinking the other enemy units have to then sort of move their way out to get outside as well. I can make things go up to a fairly fast speed until we start to see things. You can see it's just hovering around in this location. Just let it keep on doing this thing. So 9x speed. Actually, one thing I will do is I can just come back into here. That's nothing there. This flag, I can just going to go and slow time on combat start. So I'll just do that every time there's a new combat. It will then pause the game for me. And we'll just wait. So it's night time, which means we've got diminished vision with what we can then sort of go and see. So everyone will be sort of hunting around. These guys are moving out through their different areas. Let's just go and press number 3. And we'll now move these down. So these are faster than the main battle tanks. And we do have diminished things we can then go and spot with this. Oh, here we go. See, it's now gone to 0.2. If I go and click on this one here, we actually have one of their little scout vehicles has come back through. And we've got our helicopters have actually landed. So I'm just going to go and position those a little bit higher up. If I press X, actually X does work there. So we've got this one here. Is one of them has taken a bit of damage, but no actual component damage. And this area through here, this means that we can't see what's there, but but in this case the auto turret can fire at it while these guys are seeing it. So this one here is taking some damage. And we can see that there's now 2 coming in through here. I'm not sure how this one got through so quickly. But this is sort of like the combat. So this is like this is one of their datas, and it's just destroyed our aircraft. I really like parts of the graphics, like just the way when it hits, it does sort of damage. Now, again, if I just go and press number 2, we've now lost one of our units. And so we've got missiles coming in. So there's a missile coming in to hit it. There goes our scout plane. I'm not seeing it anymore, so I'm guessing that that's been taken out. So I just need these to stay in the air and look for enemies. So we'll keep the third down there. I'm not sure how that got across there. It must have somehow got across this mountain, I'm imagining. Possibly just went straight over the top. God, I wish it would sort of. It just janks out all the time with the elements. They sort of lose sight of different things. If I press C, I can then sort of zoom in on the actual element that we've got. But this is fine with what it's doing. So the rotors are sort of manoeuvring around. If I end the orders with a helicopter, it will land at that location, and I don't really want that to be the case. And if I press the Alt key and do a right click, it will then try to land at that point there. So we'll just keep on going straight up. So we do have like three elements that were in combat there. Just press C again. Just keep this guy flying around. But when it is in that pause mode, it's actually quite uncomfortable to play with, the actual game itself. Like, it's fine in the real mode, but then you lose sight of all of the different bits and pieces. I really need to find these enemies. Because it's night time, we have like much lower abilities to actually spot them. I thought we may have sort of seen them trying to cross this area. Just go back to these guys and move them in. This thing is still needs someone to spot before it can actually sort of really do anything. And same with the helicopter. Let's move across this way. Now that's an enemy one there, I think, or is that ours? No, that's ours. Yep, that's ours. It is pretty cool, I got to say, like in the sense of what it actually does do. Helicopter just coming back through. Let's just have this one sort of see if it can find anything else down this way as well. Remember, there's enemy helicopters somewhere out here as well that we haven't seen yet. And again, once the combat starts, we'll then get the pause happening because we did set that. Look, I won't spend too much time with this. I wanted to sort of just show this aspect of the game, just so at least you get a feel for where things end up, because there's a fair bit of explanation that we then need to go and do. Just press C again. This is the camera control there. I don't know what these things do, to be honest. But it's spotting. I think it's going to be too hard to spot here. So let's just go and leave this particular mission. So we'll just go out, quit to the main menu, yes. Okay, so that's the way that combat looks like, and that's at night time, which means that we can't see much. Most of the combat will be during the day, but just happen to randomly get that one through there. The tutorial is always daylight, where you've got sea and land units that you've then got to control, and again, it is random, so you can replay that as many times as you like and get different results, which is good. Anyway, let's go into the... probably should have shown that, actually, just so you could see what does go on with it. And even if we didn't do the tutorial, it's just an ugly game. But it's got so much good stuff. Let's go into a new campaign. So we're going to go into allowed maps. I'll go all maps, mission reward. I'm going to make this one easy. The game is hard, so just be aware of that one. Enemies have nukes. No, we're going to turn them off. Survival difficulty, I'm going to go with easy with 1 year disabled. So that's going to be sort of like where threats won't really hit at us hard until after a year, and then it won't be all that difficult either. So that's the sort of basic setup for the campaign. The origins, this is actually sort of what we end up having. So depending on what we choose here, now the thing I like is the R&D company. So I'm just going to go down and pick R&D. So these give me different starting abilities. And you can see down on the right-hand side there, this does have like a list of those. The starting roster, I'm going to go balanced planetary. I might actually just go land, I think. And so I'll just go with a starting roster purely on land. I'm going to have the initial project. This is actually what we end up building. I'll keep that with just the tactical ops, but I've got a whole lot of other stuff like repair hubs for repairing, the craft that we have, vehicle assembly plants for building things, etc., etc. So I'll just go back with the tactical ops HQ. The major factions expansionism, I'll just keep that on easy, but there's a whole lot of stuff in here again, a whole heap of different settings with the way that the AI will then expand through the galaxy. We'll just go with the spiral galaxy through there. We'll just call this one DasTactic. By the way, like and subscribe if you like this sort of content, this unusual content. Tech level at start, I'll go with just starting at the first tech level. Starting roster will be requiring research. Now, the roster we have through here, depending on what tech level we have, if we go with starting roster requires research and we go yes, replace with money, it means that anything that is beyond tech level 1, we're going to just get money back, but we're not going to be able to get access to it. So I'm going to go no, and then just go no, add all the units. That way we'll end up with some tech level 2s and some tech level 3 units as well. Research cost multiply 100%. Size of the galaxy, let's just make it a bit smaller, say 50, and we'll get started. So, it starts off sometimes with it thinks that there's like a key, like something that's happening through there. The game is paused. You've got to actually either go past 1 day or 7 days at a time. If we go and have a look at this one, this is Cygnus is our home world. I would strongly suggest you have a look to see where you are in the galaxy because you will get lost. So this is that galaxy that we actually are playing in. And so Cygnus for us is right in the middle of the galaxy, but you could start anywhere. If you've at least got context of where you are, it's going to be helpful for when you do lose your planet. There's no way to find it. There's no button that says, take me back to Cygnus. So you just have to know where it is. So in this case, this is our home system through here. Now we've got this one, we've got 30 units that are actually ready for fighting. Defense, Homeworld System Defense 19 is the name of the defense group that we have on the world. And again, if I just press tab, first tab has got nothing. Second tab has just got the names of everything. The third tab gives me basic information, and then the fourth time I press it, we then get the actual specific unit information and what's happening. So they're all basically ready to go. We've got 75% exploration. We've still got a fair bit more to do. On the planet, we've got like a lot of minerals on the planet, which is good. So it's a good mining planet, this particular one. And then we'll actually have other planets in close to us where we've got like exploration 50%. Some of these will have some unusual, like this has got a dangerous virus on it with independent villages. What else have we got through here? Abandoned outpost. So there's some unusual little areas down through these other sides, and you can then go and colonize these. Essentially, if I go and click on that one through there, you can see there to colonize, it's going to take 163 days. It's going to cost me 218 amount through there, and it's going to cost me 59 influence. That's what this one is up through this other side. It's got an abandoned outpost. There are signs of a long abandoned colonization infrastructure. Some of it could be reused. Colonization costs is decreased. And so the minerals with the planets in through there as well. Like there's a lot, there's a fair bit in orbit there, 40,000. I don't know why. Actually, it's not that much, to be honest. That's not all that much. So we've got, it says that building capacity there is 6, etc., etc. So there's different types of, this one's predominantly just land, but they're all different a little bit. This one here has got a refinery already on it. Some of them have got some really unusual things, flowing lava, civilization there. I think that a lot of these have to do with the way that the maps are then generated. So dangerous landslides in this case. May mean more cliffs when the maps are generated. Black market in that location. Abandoned outpost. Flowing lava there again as well. Etc. etc. Great for agriculture. Old scrapyards. No civilization at Cat. So yeah, just knowing what's around you can be. There we go. Dinosaurs. No idea. This is a desert world with dinosaurs and an abandoned outpost on it. So you can sort of ultimately then pick and choose where you're going to go. So getting your money up is very, very important. Just very quickly going through, I'm thinking that probably the easiest way to actually see things is these are our basic resources. We've got science points, we've got influence, we've got tactical ops, and we have money. Down through the side here are essentially the management screens. Again, there's no tooltips, and the user interface, I'm going to keep on saying this, the user interface is very, very poor. Like, so it needs tooltips, and they should look better than this. It just doesn't look all that great. But let's take it from the top and just move our way through. Now, the I key there, which is really hard to go and click on, will actually then cycle through those same 4 things that we did before. So there is a little command there, but you've got to be careful. It's very, very finicky when you do press the, when you go to the edges, which is why you do need to sort of know where you started off in the game. If I go and look at different screens and then start to try to scroll around, I'm going to be scrolling all over the place in the actual map itself. So just be aware, it's the user experience / user interface is really, really poor at this stage. The game is very, very early on in its development, so but you know, I'm sure that will be addressed over time. But at this point in time, it's it's annoying. They get in the way of the actual of what potentially is going to be a great, great game. So anyway, let's have a bit of a look and see what we've got. The first one through here, M, stands for Mark. This is sort of like your mission. Oh, missions. This is mission. The actual missions. It does tell you those sort of stuff. Does it tell you in the? I don't even think it tells you in the tutorial. But anyway, that's missions back in through there. This one here is your G is for gear, maybe, I don't know. This is actually where you then manage your army, and you can see down through here the Home System Defence 19 is the actual name of the group at Cygnus. I can go and rename that if I'm wanting to, and we've got 30 out of a possible 50 different units back in through there. We'll come back to that one in just a minute. Next one we've got is the trade resource, so I can actually go and, if I wanted military components, for example, I could go and click on that one, and I could then spend money to go and acquire some of these for different things. Civilian goods as well. It doesn't tell you what they actually do and what they're useful for. We've got materials, minerals, nanotech, and alien artifacts. So these are all stuff that we can either go and buy or sell. So I can actually go back and sell if I've got a lot of one particular type. Like if we've found a planet which has got heaps of alien artifacts, we may want to then go and sell them off. And you can see there we've got the buy-sell pricing. I really, like, again, there's an element here. There's something to really love about what they've done. Like, you know, I'd say them, but it's actually just, I think it's just a single developer. But it's, you know, for what he's actually done, there's some really nice mechanics. It's just not very well presented. So, so you know, you can sort of see the potential there of like nanotech costs a lot. The alien artifacts cost a lot as well. So you can see there to buy tactical ops is really quite expensive. But to sell them is very, like, it's not really worth selling influence or tactical ops. You're better off spending them yourself. But certainly with alien artifacts, whether you buy them or sell them, it's about the same. Same with nanotech. Like you only got like a slight variance there between those different things. Even minerals, once we start to get minerals, that's then going to sort of kick in. Most things happen on a monthly cycle. So once we get to 1 month, we'll then get income across, depending on what we've actually got on the planet itself. So anyway, that's the trade resource, which I think was T. Yep, that's that one through there. The next one across here is is actually what we have on the planet. So we've got every planet we have. We've got 6 different slots on Cygnus, and I've then got different things I can then go and build. If I go and click on the building through here, I can't really afford any of these, and some of these require me to actually then have like military tech or military equipment. So I need money and military equipment to then go and build a small arms weapons factory. So that's sort of the way that would then work. I can also go and add in different things where I can supplement the build cost with materials. So if I do actually have like a lot of materials, so these are all the different materials coming in through here, I need to have these on hand and then pay a little bit, but I can go all the way through and just have, you know, as much as I can possibly do with the materials on hand, in hand there. But that's ultimately what that would then be to bring that one through, to then be able to supply our own construction materials over time. So it's going to take a while to bring that one up. But again, that's pretty good the way that one sort of does work. So that was P, I think. No, that was different again. This is where it's just confusing the way it does work. This is science, which is the same as if I click on this on the technology points. This one here then opens up. It doesn't show us tech level 1 because it's just by default you're starting off there. But we do need to get, for example, component tier 2s, propulsion tier 2, weapon tier 2, and armor tier 2 to be able to build tech 2 units. So if we have a unit that's only got like a tech level 2, like if I've got a requirement where I've got a propulsion and weapons that need to be 2, but the components and the armor is just tech level 1, then I just need to get my science to then pay for those. We won't do that just yet. We'll have a look at that in just a minute. The HQ is then going to go through. This is actually, there's a lot in here. This HQ is where you save or load the game. Of course. Why would it be anywhere else other than in your actual HQ screen? So again, things don't make a real lot of sense. So we have, so vehicle buy price 100%, FTL speed rate 100%. We've got a bit of a summary here with the stats. We've got things like innovations where we can spend the tech points again. See how, again, underneath I'm sort of scrolling away. That's why you need to know where your planet actually is, because you will end up being all over the place. So long-range exploration through there, advanced money. See, the background should lock at this point when we're in any of these screens. That shouldn't still be floating around. Advanced money printers, yeah, blah, blah, blah. There's a whole lot of stuff we can actually then go and do to try to improve the planets. So we've got those. We've got reforms where we can actually then go and spend influence to then go and get different other abilities up to, you know, sort of fairly expensive. Again, I won't go through what you can do. I just want to give you a feel. For the sake of $5, I mean, really, you know, what do you got to lose? It's a very, very cheap game. Laws. Now, you've got different things in through here where there'll be different stability levels depending on what you do and other different abilities. So it goes from very liberals, strictly controlled, secret police, capital planet privileged. I think it's spelt wrong, I think. Anyway, capital planet is more than anything. This planet's a hero to work towards the benefit of the privileged citizens at the capital, or imperial. So monthly stability reduction from number of colonies and projects modify 50%. So in this case, we want to spread far to the galaxy. So if we wanted to be expansionist, we can just set that up, click on that one through there. Tax, I'll just keep it unlimited taxes at this stage. Government can be done by council or autocracy. Again, we're going to see different abilities kick in depending on what we choose. I'll just choose this one here, and then the army upkeep. I'll just keep this as regular, which means that we do have to pay a little bit more. If I go to pristine, we end up with the repair speed is much stronger for what happens with the actual army that we have. The stats and through here, we saw that one before. Diplomacy. Now this is the different groups that we have. So for us, we actually have a close relationship, 82%, with Unitech Corporation. This will be a bit random, but you always start off at war with the space pirates, water pirates, and the aliens. So these have actually got like a, and you can sort of see there the cost of their difficulty. Like if they do actually raid you, this is going to be 15,000 points that they end up having, 23,000 there and 43,000 there for the aliens. And then we've got other ones where we've got different abilities which could either go negative or positive, depending on what we end up doing in the game. The budget's in through this other side. We can print money if we have like 100 influence, and so we can actually go and grab another 20,000 if we needed to. I can also just ask for loans through here as well, and we have to then pay it back. And then we've got resources in through this other side as well, where we've just got like nanotech, where we can actually go and then, I don't know what this does, to be honest, because we've already got the trade area as well. But anyway, that's the headquarters tab. This one here is actually the threat assessment. So we don't have to worry about this initially, but as the threats start to come in from the aliens and the pirates, and if we have any other enemies, then this will actually be where we then try to use our TAC ops points to then sort of stop them. So that's really what that one then goes and does. And then finally, just this one down through here is if there's major events. There's no pending events to look at through here. Other things to look at, just so you get a bit of a feel for the scope of what's going on. We do actually have, this one is going to then leave, but you want to be making sure that you've saved it by going to the HQ first. So just make sure you do that. This one here is the actual settings for the actual game itself. Just go and cancel that one. The next one is is where we've got the slow time and combat start. So when we're doing combat, you can set different things up through here. There's actually a fairly interesting and beneficial, even though it looks really ugly, screen just for unit selection, like selecting all the units completely, all the ones in combat, out of combat, below different hit point levels if you're wanting to sort of move them across as well. So you can do different things through there as well, and that's mainly during combat that you do that one. Then this is the actual builder. So let's have a look at the actual building of of different units. So let's just say that we want to get some tech level 2 equipment. The way that you would do it is you would come into here. This one keeps on coming up. This is actually a bug. Every time I think it's to do with OBS running, I think. I might just try restarting the game, and because we haven't done anything. Yeah, I might just do it and just see if I can get rid of it, because it is a bug, I'm pretty sure. Like if I load in a different unit, it's not going to do anything. If I just go across to like the unaligned units and just bring in this one here and load it. Yeah, it's not showing the components. It should be showing all of the components and telling us what that is. I think it's to do with my recording, to be honest. Just let me see if I can actually just get rid of it. Yeah, I saved it and quit out of the game completely, reloaded it, and it's come back in without it's now showing me the components that are on this particular vehicle. So this is actually what is this one here? Class name Prototype X. Now down the bottom, I do need to explain a few little things that we actually have in through here. I won't go through too much about the actual building that we need to then go and do, but we do actually have the basic components is tech level 1, the propulsion is tech level 1, the weapons is tech level 1, and the armor is tech level 1 for this one here. Let's go and load something else in. So if we go across to the unaligned and have a look at what should we grab again? It's when you instead of scrolling, it scrolls in behind. It's the user interface is really is in the way so badly. You can see the different tech levels there: 2, 1, 2, 2, 4, 1, 4, 1 in through here for the ballistic missile silo. The data. Now this is a wheeled unit. Got a ship there, spacecraft. Shipboard. I can filter as well if I'm wanting to do different things. What I actually want is more the rotorcraft. I've got a scout drone, which is just 2 components to propulsion, which will then give me something that can then go and have a look. If I go and click on the scout drone, it just gives me a little bit of a information about what that one is. If I go and load it in, so that's the scout drone there, which you can hardly sort of see. It hardly does anything. That's actually just got like the block that's sort of starting with it, an Aardvark S1 drone control, command and control. It's got some batteries and an electric engine. That's all it really does to go and do. So I think that just moves around. I don't know what the propulsion actually is there, to be honest. But anyway, that's I don't know if it flies. I've got no idea. No idea how it works. But that is like a base level drone that can be then brought in, so that's pretty much nothing. If I then go and produce or buy this, I can then add it into my components if I'm wanting to. So if I go into produce or buy, you can see there my legal market maximum tech level is only 1, so I can't actually go and get this one because of this stuff and through here. So if I just go back out, and if I have a look at other things, this is again where we're sort of going to be placing it. I'll come back and talk about that in just a minute. But if we go into our science, if I get the components and get tech level 2 there, so I'm using up these points. Propulsion was level 2, I think, as well, in that one through there. I should now be able to get it, I think. So if we got the, we've got things like rotorcrafts as well. So rotor propulsion allowing production of all kinds of flying rotor-powered vehicles, such as helicopters and multi-rotor vehicles. Let's just go back out of that one now and just see if we can actually now go and get it from this guy here. Just go into load. Again, unaligned. We've got our, where is it? Scout drone. Load. It's convoluted. Produce or buy. No, it still says legal market maximum tech level 1. I'm not sure why that's blocked when we've actually got it. If I go to produce, I need drones and rotorcraft. So that's what I do need, drones, rotorcraft in through there. So we've got required technology that we actually don't have. So let's just go and cancel that again. Again, it's, we're getting there. Drones, rotorcraft, I guess it's that one there. And we need that. For 340, I can't quite get it. So I can't get that. I can't get the drone. We've still got 340 there. Let's see if there's anything else we can get, like some little helicopter or something like that, because that's sort of what I do want. Let's go back in and load in again. So we'll just go back into load. In this case, I'm going to go still unaligned. I'm going to go with the rotor. Where is it? Guess we'll just try recon. We've got the rotorcraft there, 1222. I didn't get the extras there. Yeah, that's drones and rotorcrafts there is what that one requires. This one here, again, I don't have enough now to go and buy these other two, which is a shame. What else could we get? Stealth, chassis, anti-air, nothing there. This one here is 2s all the way across with advanced sensors and ECM. So we can't get those. So we're not going to be able to really go and buy anything else at this point. But that's, if we could, that's what we then end up having to do. But I just don't have enough tech at this stage to go and do that when we need to earn more. So let's just go back out of that one. Let's go back and build up our forces. We do have a bit of money, and we do want to get something fairly strong. So let's go back into the actual army. So we've got the Homeworld Defence System. I can go and create a new group as well if I'm wanting to. I can actually upgrade the certain groups as well ultimately in through there. I don't think I can do it just yet with what we end up having. But with the we've got the heavy tanks, which are tech level 3. These are all tech level 1, so I can actually go and buy the main battle tanks. We've got a fair few of those. What else do we have? We've got the AFV. Now they're just wheeled. We've got the recon tanks. We've got a mech walker there, which is fairly expensive. And we've got howitzer emplacements down this way, 4 of those, which is fine. We don't need any more than that. Well, I think looking at the actual numbers that we end up having, so most things, the Recon Strider is a light, fast mech with enhanced optics and revolver-style cannon with heat ammunition. These are very, very fast. The Recon Tank is also just tech level 1. I'll probably end up with maybe a couple more of those. So let's just go and order the production of these. And we're going to buy these outright, so rather than producing them. So let's go and get, say, another 2 of those. So we'll just go and confirm that purchase. Now the Recon Striders, let's go and grab another couple of those as well. So we're just going to go and buy those, confirm. And we'll then go up and get the, we've got the wheeled, that walker I can't afford. I can't do any of these because of the tech levels that we have. I've almost got enough to get these. Let's just go up to the main battle tanks. These are fairly cheap. I've got a couple of different designs there with different components. One of them, these cost a little bit more. I'll go for the more expensive ones. They've got a bit, surely they do other things. So let's go and grab another, say, 5 of those. 13,000. Yep, we'll go and buy those. Now that should be getting us close. I'll just go and confirm. And so we now have 39 of 50. In fact, let's leave it there. So that's going to give us a fair bit to then go and play with. I think that's enough. So if we have a look at the bottom of the list now, and again, if I start to scroll, I'm scrolling the background. I'm not scrolling the actual list. So we've got 6 days delivery, 14 days delivery in through there as well. So that's just going to sort of give us a fair bit more to play with. That's very important that you do start to replenish what you have. I'll just press tab again a few more times. Just bring all those in. And so really the game then just sort of sets up where there's still got, again, just little bits left over. Let's now just go forward and sort of start to step through the days. If there's something that actually happens, that's day number 1. Day number 2, we end up with a new era. So after years of disputes and wars, peace was achieved. Old federation was lost and divided. Corporations and independence are prevalent. And raiders and deserters of old wars are roaming freely, seeking loot. Many technologies were forgotten. Your faction is one of many who rose, but future is uncertain. So very succinct messaging. So we've got the... and so if we have a look at the other different aspects, the events, there's nothing, that's what that one was, just showing us the actual event that came through there. Let's just keep on going through. And so you've got this one here, we've now got the different tanks, so recon tanks when then sort of brought in as well. So we've now got more in the actual list, and again, if I just press tab, it's not showing me the list there anymore. That's interesting. I'm not sure why it's not showing me what's actually going on there. Let's just go and press G. Yeah, so we've still got 8 more days before these other tanks get delivered. And so in this case, let's just go across, going up to day 10 now. So and at day 12, we start to get different... Oh, we've got missions now, actually. So I'll now show you the way this one works. So what we end up having here is we've got a whole lot of different stuff that we can then go and do. These are the various missions that are available. I think they have, like, when they expire, so there's a neutral trade ship crashed and left valuable cargo intact. Hostile salvages are already at the place. Diplomatic consequences. So the Oceanian Assembly could be a problem for us if we actually go and take this one. And so this is the Vindicator from the Oceania Assembly, and we'd be going into to go and essentially raid that one and have a bit of a look. But we actually don't have, like, if it ends up being away from our planet, we're not going to be able to go there at this stage. We don't have any actual transport ships, so that's something we have to then go and do. So what you can do is you can disable all the marks and then just go through. So this will mark any mission that hasn't got any diplomatic consequences. So that one there is the one that's just shown up. System body near Tichondra Aegis. Can't get there, so I can't actually go and do that one. So all the other ones are going to have diplomatic consequences. I can mark the ones on my own planet, which will be the ones that we can then go and do. And so you can see there we've got Cygnus Giga forts into this other side. So the CO needs bodyguard force for extraction in conflict zone, no additional information. And so there's diplomatic consequences there with Giga Fort Works, maybe positive, I'm guessing. Supply depot available for that particular one. And we've got this one through here. We've got Titania Mega Base or Mecha Base. And through here, so unemployed mercenaries are trying to sack the local post. And so again, that's going to be helpful, I would think there. And Cygnus Alliance of Republics, and through this other side, unemployed mercenaries are trying to sack a local post. So we have... enemy static assets are deployable, and enemy supply depot is available as well. So that's not going to be helpful for us because they've actually got those other assets. And it's 44,000 is what they're going to be able to bring in against us. And so if we don't have an equivalent sort of force or even a stronger force, it's going to be too difficult for us. So the cheapest one is this one down through here, which we don't know when that expires. And there's nothing else there in that list. Now we're still waiting on the ships on the things to be built. If we go and click on this one through here, we've still got 2 more days delivery there. So it doesn't give me a list of what we have. Like, so I don't know what my actual amount is in total, but it's pretty high. Like, we've got these heavy tanks and things. So let's just go and wait for 2 days. Let's just go and cancel that and just go across 2 more days. So new mission available. So we've got a few other different things, and the main battle tanks actually did come on that day 11. So that's actually good. If we go back in and have another quick look. So they're now all basically in there, so that's fine. I don't know if I can sort these. This one's to mark units for transfer. So this is to transfer off to a different group if we create a new group. So we've got 39 units in here now. And but again, it's not showing me the total amount. What I can do is I can just go back in. So we did actually get new missions coming back in. So let's have a quick look again. So again, marking the HQ planet is there. We can do also mark non-orbital space and marking threats if there were any threats coming through. But the first year we've set it up so we don't actually get that. So we've got this alliance of republics into this other side. This is unemployed mercenaries are trying to sack a local post. That's 44,000, 52,000 and 37,000 there. Well, that one there is the so unemployed mercenaries are trying to stack a local post there as well. Let's go and do this one here, and then we'll call it quits, I think, at that stage. So go and click on that one through there. And so I don't have to take this. So there's a few things. We've got mech walkers coming back in. That's tech level 2 there. So there's a mech walker, the LBA Strider. And so I can see exactly what this one is. This is an artillery walker, which we have to be careful of. Light barrage artillery Strider armed with revolver twin artillery cannon with heat ammo. Fast engines allow quick relocation. So it can move around pretty quickly. So it is a walker that we're going to have to be careful of. Now we've got a total budget in here of 118,000, so we're certainly going to be more than their budget. There's a few other mech walkers that we don't know. They've got 2 of these, and they've got other mech walkers that we're not aware of. Let's go and see what we're up against. So what I can do is I've got 100 of the tech points, sorry, not tech points, the tactical points. I'm going to go and click on this little button here, which will then show me different things. I can spend 53 to then find out what we're actually up against, which I'll just go and do it so you can sort of see it. But I can also bring in, like, deploy some buildings, which will give me other other abilities. We've got the supply depot through there as well, which will then resupply anything that does sort of get hit. Let's go into the gather intelligence. And so we can no longer afford a lot of these other ones. I can re-roll the weather if I don't like the weather. I can't even tell what the weather is. It's not telling me. So how do I know? Again, the user interface is just, it needs a lot of work, but it's there. It's sort of, you can see the promise of what this thing does. This one actually has got. So we've got some Devastators. These are worth 13,000 each. There's 2 of those. And they've got a Recon Strider here, just one of them. Now we've got Recon Striders ourselves. We've got 4 of them in our abilities. The Devastator here is an artillery platform walker, electro-optical missiles. If it can't see us, it can't hit us. And so these guys here, these are both artilleries. So these are going to have, we can sort of see that there's going to be like maximum range, etc. Maximum weapon range there of 2,344. But really, it's the invisible. You can see the vision range there of 1435. Like, which is around here when I have a look at it. So the vision range there is 1800. Actually, it's got better vision, and this it says visible at 123%, which means it's a big unit. And so there's 2 of those, and then this one here is actually a smaller unit at visible at 82%, which actually does have a bearing in the actual game itself. And again, it's got a smaller vision range. But the weapon range is much, much longer than what it does see. So it's going to be relying on these Recon Striders to locate us, to then be able to fire its big guns. So the maximum weapons range of that one is fairly low, about the same as what its vision range actually is. So as long as if we can kill this thing off, we then should be able to then take these out much, much closer. If we have a look at our heavy tanks, they've got a maximum weapons range there of 3,000, but a vision range of only 1,600. These are big. We've got all these guys in through here again as well. fairly good maximum weapons range, but we just need to be able to spot it. And we do actually we've got wheeled areas back and through here again as well. We've got the mech walker. This is 11,000 for this one through here. This is an unguided rocket barrage and autocannons. So this is a frontline mech. So it does actually have a rocket barrage there, but and the max weapons range is not that much, to be honest. So I just need to be closer to actually bring that one across. The recon tanks, we've got 4 of those in the recon striders. I'll be wanting these to find this one and destroy it as fast as possible. Then we've got the tracked archer beehives in units in here. There's a self-propelled artillery. Again, the weapon range here is not as much as those mechs that they've got, but this one here is actually a tracked vehicle that's got a range of nearly 4,000, so that's actually going to be fairly useful. We've got 3 of those, and we've then just got like a bit of a throwaway item in here, which is fairly useless. So a fair few of these won't matter if we lose them, but we do want to sort of then bring the bigger guys in. These archer beehives, I think, are going to be sort of like a fairly important part of our success. Ultimately, if we can just take these things out. What's the speed on this one here? Looks like it's pretty fast. I'm not seeing the speed. It's got dimensions, fuel, ammo, armor. So it's got an armor componentry there. But I'm not seeing how fast it actually does move. This one here has got a lot more. It's got the total armor here. Total hit points is 3,900. There's only 600. That's total hit points. Where's that on this one here? I'm not seeing it there. Oh no, 666 for hit points. The armor total is 1,300. This one here, the armor total is 1,700. Okay, so I'm sort of comfortable. Like we're certainly stronger than what they are, which is important when you're doing these sorts of things. So I'm just going to go into manual battle. It can be really quite one-sided, so it's quite strategic, and this is what I love about it. It's actually got, once you start to nut it all through, it starts to make a bit more sense. So we know we've got 4 artillery units that rely on 1 recon guy to actually spot for it. So we can expect it. So we can, when the recon unit first makes contact, we can expect that to be fairly substantial. So when we come in, I'm just going to pause by pressing space. So we go back in. We don't actually have any buildings, so we don't actually have the little building symbol at the top corner there. Now we've got the fact we can see this one. We need to then go and destroy 75% of the enemy force, certainly their points. And so the objective is to have is to destroy 4 enemies. So I think it's just total numbers, and we've got 35 units ourselves. So we've got like a lot of different units. Let's have a look and see what we're actually dealing with. We are dealing with an island, so we're sort of starting in the middle here. We do actually have a lot of forest, and they're starting way over here. If I just go to the edge of the screen, so possible enemy location there. Sometimes there'll be 2 locations, but that seems to be sort of where they are. So what we'll do is we might probably just string them out a little bit, and we won't go super fast into what we're doing. And we'll just go and start to now bring up all the different groups. Now, unfortunately, I do have to manually go and select everything. So let's just go in and set these up. I don't think I can actually double-click a single unit and select that way. Like the main battle tanks, for example. Yeah, I can't just go and grab that and just go select all or anything. Again, user interface would be awesome to be able to go and do that one. It's hard while you've got it paused. You can give orders. It's just really, really unresponsive. Again, a user experience, a big user experience issue there. Now, if I go and press these, they're all the main battle tanks. There we go. We picked up 15 of them. And if I press Shift, can I grab that one as well? Yep, we've got 16 of those, and that is all of the main battle tanks. So actually, I've got that one as there. If I press Shift on that one, does that get rid of it? No, of course not. Just go this way. And that one. So I can only sort of add, which again is not ideal. Okay, so that's going to be that group. I'll put them into 2 lines, and I'll keep them sort of medium place apart. Actually, I might even make them loose, just because if the artillery does hit them, I don't really want them being smashed apart. So that's going to be the 15. I can just tell them to position themselves over here somewhere. So I can sort of just position them there, it'll be fine. Again, if I go and click again, it still keeps this here because of the pausing that we've got it on. Like it's traveling at a very, very slow speed at this point in time. We then actually have our recons in through this other side, and we have a bit of a look. If I go and select one of these and then press V, I can see exactly which ones we've got. So these are the recon striders. These are the very, very light, fast mech with enhanced optics and revolver style cannon with heat ammo. These should be able to take out, like if I've got 4 of those. Actually, are they all the same one? So this is a recon strider. Come on, I picked you. Doesn't want to play. Recon tank. I'll keep them together because they all move at the same rate. So I'm just going to go and press shift, grab those 2 and grab these 2. It's got the 4 selected now. I'm going to make this one control group number... What did I make? The other one's control group number 1. I'll make this one control group number 2. Now the main battle tanks are all going to be moving off as well anyway, so I'm just going to move these up. I need these guys to be away from everything else. I'm going to keep them fairly loose as well. I'm going to keep these in a single line, and we'll just move them across to here. And so we've got the loose formation there. So that's those recons, and then we've got the other recons here, which are going to be the fast-moving mechs. Okay, I've got those 4 there. This will be group number 3, control 3, and move them across maybe this way a little bit. Again, the stuff just stays there. It's annoying that you've got to sort of micromanage that stuff. But it is what it is. If we go back to number 1, we didn't pick up the main battle tanks, damn it. Let's just go and pick these up. I didn't set up an actual group for them. 15, there we go. Oh, hang on, this is still coming back in. I'll just make this one control group number 1. We don't have any flying craft. This one here is actually going to be one of our heavy tanks. So we've got 2 heavy tanks. Let's just go and press this one as well. So we'll make this one control group number 4. Control 4, just so I can sort of go and grab it, and we'll just position that one up through there. Which I might just make it a little bit further back because we don't really want it to be spotted. And then we've got these as well. These are just the... so we don't actually have any flying craft at all. Which is a bit of a shame, actually. I don't think we've got anything flying up there. No, that's pretty much it. So these are the AFVs that we have. Are the if I just go back and press V, armoured fighting vehicle built with tank armour and command, guided missile launcher. So vision range, the maximum weapon range there is pretty good. So I'll keep these as group number 5. Is it? Are they all the same? If I just press X, I can then cycle through. Yeah, these are AFV Norringtons, so I'll just keep them all together. And so these are going to be control group. What have we got? We've got is it 5? Or up to 6. I'll go 5 at this stage. Then we've got these arcs, the 3 arcs in through there. These are the archer beehives. And so these are important. These are going to be the ones that ultimately we should be using to take everything else out. And so these will be group number 6. So and I'll just move them up as well, a little bit different. Actually, put them in a single line. And same with the group number 5 is those single line. I'll just move them up. So once the other guys arrive, that should all be good. Let's just now let things happen. Yeah, so we don't have any aircraft at all. So let's now just go and unpause. So the game is real time. I'm just going to make sure that we do actually have to stop that one. So number 1 is the main battle tanks. It's annoying that that doesn't remember for the actual groups that we had. Number 2 is these recons. Let's just let them go back across. They're moving up. Number 3 is the other recon group as well. So they're now moving up. And we just want to have the other artillery, etc., moving through. We do have this MG pickup as well. I'll just move that one across there. The heavy tanks, now that we didn't give that one a control group. Number 3 is that one. Number 4 is the heavies. So they're moving out into position. We'll just move them up into the middle there somewhere. Number 5 is these artillery guys, which we sort of want them moving up so that their range is, the red is their range, just so they can sort of quickly move across. 6 is these as well. You can see these have got much bigger range, the arcs. So we're sort of now waiting for the enemy to arrive. And we need to then destroy what it can then find. So with their recon back over here, again, I've got it all covered. So and this is like their visual range. So that's number 2 is there, which is fairly narrow. Number 3 is there. Let's just move it up a little bit. And the main battle tanks are still sort of making their way up as well. Is that part of the group? Is that group number 3? That's group number 4. Group number 1 is the main battle tanks. Yeah, they're all moving up slowly. Sometimes they can get stuck on terrain. Like this guy is stuck in a bush. It can't move. So it's actually got the tree down, but it just can't move forward. It does happen a bit as well. But the rest of them are actually doing okay. So they're now moving up. Again, I wish that the like you do lose some of the actual like I like to be able to see what's what. Now the group could come across this way. I might just get the arc group in behind. So this is group number 4 is the heavies, 5 is that one, 6 is the arc group. So we'll just move them. Here we go. It's now gone down to a very slow. I can even go even slower again. And we can then see what we're actually dealing with. This should be the recon. And here it is. So it's actually it's come through. So this is the enemy recon tank, which is the same as the tanks that we've got. So if we have a look at our recon tanks here, now this happens to be the thing that's actually sort of been hit here is this is actually one of our Archer beehives. So we're going to take some damage, but we've then got the other group is now coming across at very slow speed, is now firing at that particular unit. So what I can do is I can actually now go back to my other group and tell it to now move across, and we're seeing another group there now firing from that location. So I'm going to move these across into here, which will then be within range of this one here, and the other recon that we have is group number 3. I'm going to move that up as well. So there's a fast-moving artillery has now moved in. These AFVs will then start to then pick up, as we see the units, they will then get connected to the actual operation. So it was 6 is these, and again we can't really, if I just press C, I should actually be able to just go and press 1. Sorry, this is where it gets very janky. So these are now firing as well. God, it's so janky with what we're doing. Just go to point 2, and we'll just watch in sort of slow-mo. So the artillery, they've spotted us in through here. They've missed with the artillery, but this one has taken some damage. And one of our fuel drop tanks has actually been destroyed there. So this one is going to be smashed. And I think what I'll do is I'm going to move that one out of the way. Here comes the artillery now firing from these. And we've actually now destroyed that one. So it can no longer be spotted, but we know that the other one fired from in here. So the recons will then just come through, and then they're not going to have any visuals. So this particular one now has lost its drop tank, it's lost its fire control center, and its cameras. And so this one is actually still active, but not very active at this point in time. So here comes the rest of the artillery now sort of coming in on that particular location. So this one did the spotting, and unfortunately I didn't have my recon in the right position. We can expect that the other force will then be coming through very, very quickly. So if we just go back to group number 2 and try to close the gap in here, we need to sort of start to spot the group that should be now moving through the middle here. That's group number 2, group number 3, closing the gap again. So we're still sort of seeing different groups now still essentially firing. Our main battle tanks haven't had a chance to get involved yet. So they're still moving up. So if I just go back to group number 1, which is the main battle tank group, let's just move it across. And the arcs is group number 6. I'm going to move them back because we know that they're within range of where we... Yeah, there we go. So they're now going after the recon, I think. I don't know how they've seen so much, but if we have a bit of a look at this. So this here is the little mech walker with the artillery. And so our recon will actually now fire at it. And in fact, we've got 3. We're seeing it, one of their guys here, another artillery guy there. In fact, we're now seeing everything. So they've all come through now, all of their different groups. Now, our guys, with having seen them, they should only really be able to see our recon forces, but they're sort of all over the place. So let's just keep on watching and seeing what actually does go on here. These are moving fairly fast. And we have our recon guys are just right here now. And so we should start to see artillery highlight these, as long as we can just keep watching. Now, the enemy units, they're down to 4. We've still got all of our units available. And so the recons are now firing at this guy. And we'll start to see its health diminish as we sort of bring them all in. But these are the little artillery guys. They're still taking damage. And we should start to see the artillery firing from behind, which are expensive units. Here we go. We just missed there. I'll just keep it in slow-mo so we can sort of do bit by bit. Bang, hit it. Another one hit it. Another one hit it. It's down, it's very, very low. Now it will be, most of its equipment will be gone at this stage. If we have a look, there's 3 units left. So there's a unit there which has taken damage by the looks as well. And so, yeah, it's one of its legs is off, so it's not going to be able to move around anymore. It's got its, so this will now take more damage as well. And it's got only 1 unit we have to then destroy, and then that'll be the end of it. So this one is being targeted again, and this one back through here is one of our little recon tanks, zipping around all over the place. Where's the other unit? So we've got another unit back in here as well, which is sort of in the smoke and haze. And we lost sight of that one, I think, because of the smoke. But our recon units are now all over the place. And they're actually zipping around all over the place because the AI is now controlling them. They're AI controlled with the recon tanks. So we can't really sort of do that one. We're now spotting this one again as well. So our guys, one of our little recon guys has zipped in there. So that's the artillery unit. This one's actually fairly strong. Here we go. We're getting a lot more firepower now coming back in from other recon forces, and we're getting the this one now should be destroyed with the missiles coming back in. Missed, but it's but this one is now stopped firing completely. Just bang, there we go. That's the end of it. Mission completed. Click to end. There's no point sticking around. So that's it. That's basically the mission that we then did, and we can then go and see. We ended up with units were involved with 35, so we certainly were much more powerful than what the enemy was, and it sort of played out the way that we thought it was going to. Now we've got units destroyed. We actually lost 3 of our two recon striders and one recon tank. So we lost 3 units. One of the heavy tanks was left a bit damaged. One of the beehives, we saw that one get damaged as well, and then one of the other recon tanks was damaged. So I need to now replace these, but I do have to remember what the replacement actually is. It doesn't just, we can't auto. Again, it would be great if the user experience with this one was set to be able to then designate what the group actually is. Maybe down the track, hopefully those sorts of things would be in there just to help out with the way it sort of does work. So anyway, that is now been done. Let's have a bit of a look to see. So again, there's Cygnus back in the middle there. Just press tab again. 2, 3, 4. Yep, that's okay. So we're still not seeing the group that's actually there. If we now go back and have a look at the group down this other side, we'll then sort of see that this one's repairing in 5 days, that heavy tank. So it's actually, we can't really go off and really do anything. That will be out of the fight. And then we've got repaired in 11 days for the Archer Beehive, 1 day for the recon tank. And so what I need to do now is probably get even more recon tanks and recon striders. They're quite useful, as you could see, with what we end up having. I can't get the I can't actually we've got a little bit of tech back from that one. If we go back into our science, I need 560 to be able to then go and get both the weapon tier and the armor tier. Let's get the weapon tier, so we just get that one under control. So we get that one at least done. We're not going to be able to get the drone, so I'm going to have to get other things before I can sort of then go and get the rotorcraft. We're down to 50. We need another 240 in through there, so we'll just leave that one where that is. In this case, that's a good start anyway with what we have. And so with the recon tanks, and again, these are just tier 1 units, so it doesn't matter if we really lose these. But the recon striders, we're down to, what are we down to? Just 1, is it? No, there's more down here. Again, it would be good. There's no sort for everything. You have to manually go and click it to move them up and down. Like you can move to the bottom of this spreadsheet. So you've sort of got it's really janky. Like the user interface is really, really janky, but it's got a lot of promise. And for $5, you really can't go wrong. So anyway, with this one through here, we need to get another couple of, how much do we have down the bottom there? We've got 1 recon tank there, another 2 there. So I want to get maybe another 2 or 3 of these. I might just get a fair few of these. So let's just go back in and go to plus this side, and we'll just go and buy, say, another 3 of each of these different types. So the recon tanks, just go and confirm that one, and then also the recon striders. Let's go to plus, and we'll get another 3 of those as well. Confirm that. So they're now going to be positioned. We're now up to 42 units in total, which is nice and strong. 6 days to get all those different recon groups coming back in. And you saw how useful they actually were. This is actually something where I communicated with the dev, and he said, make sure you got recon and make sure you got artillery. In fact, we can't get any artillery because they're all, if we have a look at the Archer Beehives, they're tier 2. We almost got them. We need to have external armor there as well as a tech, so we won't be able to get them for a little while. These ones here, we need active sensors on those. Anyway, we're sort of getting there slowly. So anyway, that's that one done. Now, until we really have everything sort of set up, what I'll do is I'll just zip through to the end of the month, just so we can see like an end of the month thing, and then we'll just call it quits there, I think. So we've got the different recon groups have now come back through, which is good. Again, we're going to be getting different missions, and again, if we just mark the HQ planet, I've still got just these 2 at this point in time. So we could certainly take these on ultimately once we've got everything sort of established. So these would be like a small island battle. This one is a land and sea battle, but we don't have anything on the sea. So yeah, that would be interesting. We don't have any sea units as such. Let's just go to the end of the time. Let's just close that one off. And again, I don't know what all this is. FHQ, is that actually the, is that what we have? FHQ, Research Labs, Tactical and Covert Ops. Yep, Research Labs. Okay, it's telling me what's been built there. I guess that's okay. Again, a little icon would be better to show what we've actually got rather than doing it that way, or tooltips or something. Again, it's just the user interface is really, really early days yet. Okay, day 21, day 26, the Archer beehive has now been repaired, and it's got 51 there, 27, 28, 29, 30. There we go, end of month report. So balance from the planets is we end up with another 135 coming back in through here, another 10,000 going back off, and we've got 49 coming back in through here with the influence, and we picked up another 103 this far as well. Rewards and spoils from missions, so we picked up a little bit of extra coming back the other side there. Unit upkeep, it's just some money went out as well, but not a hell of a lot. Now I can build another group as well if I'm wanting to sort of start to build up other forces just to have them available. But that's sort of like 1 month's worth, and so in through here I still don't have enough to be able to then go and get this armor tier 2. So I really still can't go and build anything at this stage. I could design my own ship and actually just have low armor on it, I guess, which I haven't done any of that yet. Maybe we should just finish off with attempting that. I'm a bit worried to do it. So let's go in and give this one a bit of a crack. So we'll go into new design. And so we have like a starting block in through this other side. So that's the base. I've got cosmetics, I've got behaviors. This one here will be, the name will just be the DAS rotor or something. And again, you saw there WASD, it's flicking around. Like if I press the A and the S, etc., it's going to be moving around. So it's missing a command module. It will tell me what I do need to then go and do. And so if I go into the add, I then actually have like the basic kit, which will then have like command and control at tier level 1. If I go and get rid of that, I can then sort of see the tier level 2 for command and control. If I go back to the command, I do actually have a drone command and control there, but I don't actually have drone abilities. So my command and control is okay at level 1. So I really don't have anything more I can really go and do there. So I'm going to go and add that one in. So it's now been added to the actual mix. It's just a component that I don't have to go and place it. It just ends up where it sort of needs to be. Now we've got the engine as well. So if we go back into the engine there, now I'm going to keep it at tech level 2. So let's just go and see. We do have the turbo engine, advanced but fuel hungry engine, and then we've got the electric engine, advanced but powerful hungry electric engine. So these are tier 2s. Let's just go and pick up one of these. So we'll just go and try that one. So we've now got that one there. If we then go into the power generation, we do have fusion reactor. So early fusion power plant generates a lot of power but is limited in size. Advanced power, this one generates fuel. Solar panels or mini fission reactor. Made smaller, loses efficiency and is more expensive than its bigger. Let's just go with this one here. So we'll go and throw that one on. Actually, that says, I don't know what that's sort of showing there. Let's get rid of that. Yeah, internal space exceeded. All right, so we'll just go and, how do I get rid of it? Delete. Yep, that's okay, that's good. We'll just go back to add. So if we just go back into power generation again, just go to the mini reactor. It's still okay. We're still sort of inside the limits. And really, I just want this to be recon. So we've got the basic kit. If we just go back there again and have a quick look and see, we've got fuel storage, fuel generation. Actually, I should have checked to see if there was anything there with power generation. At level 1, we've got a little fission reactor. The mini fission reactor will be okay. That'll be fine. I'll keep levels 1 and 2 on because that's all I can really go and do. Storage, I've got then other fuel storage or batteries. That's, what's the cost there? The mass is 4. That should be enough. Let's go and throw one of those in. We're up to 79 now. So we do actually have a little bit of extra. We'll be able to sort of stay in the sky for a little bit longer. I won't put any weapons on this one. I just purely want this one to be a scout, like a just something that can then sort of have a look around. Power generation back through there. Support ammo defense, ability, decoys and smoke screen, I won't worry about it. Got radar, passive sensor. So it tells you what the actual thing will then go and do. Look, I don't think I'll worry too much about it, to be honest. We can also change the starting block, like we've sort of got like a tank body with this thing. I'm not even sure if this will fly. It does have the turbo electric engine though. If we go back to the block, I think that's changing things around a little bit. Let's go to the block. Let's go to main. This is the cosmetics. Yeah, so it says apply different things through there. This is block number 1 is the base. We can change it again. I haven't really played with this much at all. It sort of looks a bit weird, doesn't it? It's not really what we want. If we just go and change it up, I'm not sure how we do change this. I thought we did it here. That's the paint, the colour, so we can go and change the actual overall look of it. So we can sort of make it, say, red. And that should change that main block there. Is that it? Oh, it's actually the top bit there. Okay, that's block 1. So it's actually the, if we go to the main, yeah, actually that's now the whole thing. So the main, we can actually then just go in and sort of start to build up the overall look of it. So that's the cosmetics, the base itself. Makes it bigger, I guess. Yeah, it makes it much larger. Just bring it back a little bit. We don't need it very big. Width, can we tweak it? That's about right. So that's where it is. Okay, so I can auto size for internals and then turrets and externals if I wanted to as well. So that's actually good. The front, again, I've got the actual shape, so I can actually make it circular, which will then, that's looking better with what we end up sort of, the overall look of it. Looks a bit more what we would expect. Center, again, that's okay with where we are. The back, don't know if that's going to change. No, that's the whole, that looks a bit weird. Let's just go back and make that one circular as well. Just keep all that the same. The propulsion. Now this is, we've got type none. We've got all sorts of different types in through here. So we've got wheels, tracks, none, building, walker, hovercraft, hover fortress, rotorcraft. That's what we want. So there is a rotorcraft now underneath that one, which is sort of, you can see the rotors are now inside that. Rotation speed, the scale, I can sort of make the scale a little bit bigger with that one. Disposition, I'm not sure what that does. Yeah, no idea. And somehow this block that we have, if I delete that, so that's now looking better with the rotor on top. That's all we need there. We don't need that block placed on there. So with this one here, the actual main, we just need to now just go and get the this one up a little bit bigger, just in the length, or maybe even the width or the height. Let's make it more circular. 124. Why is that changing the internals there? It's actually sort of not really giving us what we want. It's making everything bigger. God, it's a tricky one. We may have to place another block on it. So if we go back into blocks again, it places it on top there. But I should be able to position this. Offset. do we make it go down? Choose placement. There we are. It's a bit off center. There we go. Oh, that one was right there. There we go. That'll do. So that's our little rotor, which is about the right sort of size. So that may work, like with what we end up then sort of having. If I go and save that, it's going to be under, this should be under player, DAS rotor, and it's just a simple scout. Simple scout, and again, every time I press the S key, it wants to move away from what we have. Let's just go and save it. And so that there is now something that we possibly will be able to now go and build. So we've at least got some sort of flying vision, like it's going to just do some basic looking, and that's about it, all it's going to really do, but that's okay. So let's go back out of here. And if we then just go back into what we have, and then just go back in, sorry, if we go back into here, and then just go and pick in and go load the DAS rotor, see it's 2211. So if we just go back, this is going to cost me 1,800 to go and buy. So if we go and load that, from there I can go and produce and buy these. And so I'll get 3 of them. Actually, legal market maximum tech level 1. If we go to produce, we are missing resources. What do we need? Production cost per unit, 1,500. So if we just go back and grab one of them, so we need 1,532 military components, so we need 270 money. So it can't be produced yet. So the market is the problem that we end up having. So we need like a black market to be able to then go and buy them if we need to buy them. So we need 1,532. So let's just go and see if we can actually quickly go and do that. I can just go and pick the resources, go to military components, and we need 1,500. Yep, I can certainly do that one. So we'll just go and we're going to be buying these. It's going to cost me 900. 1,500. Let's get, say, 1,600 military components in through there. We've still got a lot of money, so that's now, the military components are now up there as well. So I've done that. Let's now go back in and buy again. Let's try it again. Load. It doesn't remember. Again, it would be good if it did. Load it in. Buy or produce. We're going to be producing it, and we can get this one in 37 days. So we've got 1,532. We can do that one. We've got 270 money. 1 unit can be produced. So let's go and confirm that. And so in our list now of different things, we're now up to 43. And the bottom one will be a DAS rotor scout rotorcraft. So it's the first of the actual flying craft that we end up having, which uses the text that we then got along with the rotorcraft's tech as well. The game has got a lot to like about it, like a hell of a lot to like about it. As I said before, it's a game that I've and I won't keep on playing anymore, but it's a game that I've really just can't stop playing. It's I'm enjoying it so much, despite the actual user interface. The user interface is terrible, but the actual game itself is brilliant. There's just so much to like about it. So anyway, I'll leave it there, guys. But and expect, like, there's been a lot of development just in, like, when I was looking at the actual, at the progression of the game itself. It is really solid with what it ends up sort of doing. So we're 1 month in now. We've done the 1 month. We've still got all these different missions that we can then, actually some of them have now expired. So we've got different things that are going to be expiring fairly soon. We don't have to do these, but they just help, again, with what we end up sort of getting with everything back in there. So we've only got the one unit, this one through here with on the small island, with which we can then go and battle. So yeah, there's a lot of different stuff that then just go on, but it's a fun little game. Like, I really do think that many of the people who follow the channel will actually enjoy this one, and particularly for the price. It really, there's I think this game, if the user interface can be wrangled and sort of made to work well with what it does, like, if I was running a list of things wrong with the game, it would all be user interface stuff, really, and just about a mountain of things. I think I've covered a lot of it just in what I've sort of mentioned, but overall, very fun game to then go and play. So I'll leave it there. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Yeah, please like and subscribe if you like this sort of content. This was a game I just really wasn't expecting to like and B, even try, to be honest. And I'm so glad I did. It's a real little surprise packet. I'll catch you next time.